Files. Today we're going to be playing Survival again. I've got a really nice idea for a build here that I think is going to actually be extremely powerful. Arguably one of the most powerful possible survival builds that you can play. And it is going to be shieldless, actually, so that might seem crazy to a lot of you diehard survival fans. But I won't say that there aren't possibly some better shielded survival builds, but this one is looking pretty promising. So what we're going to be taking today are the Ice Shards and the Broadsword. And Broadsword recently had its scaling changed to green-purple instead of purple-red. So that has opened up a whole new world for survival. Ice Shard is just a super fast item. As you can see, it barely slows me down at all when I press the button. And it can be dual bound to your weapon. And Broadsword, on the other hand, is just an incredibly slow, but very powerful, chunky, extremely satisfying weapon. You know, it's always been okay in the past. It does a ton of damage, but it's just... a lot of that damage is centered in the third hit, and a lot of the time it's really hard to get that third hit in on an enemy. But if we dual bind these, you can see the Broadsword combo still comes out basically just as fast because the Ice Shards are nearly instant. And the enemies are going to be slowed for 5 seconds, basically leaving them vulnerable to the entire combo. Now, most enemies aren't going to take that long to die. As you can see, they're basically getting killed by the first hit. But against elites and larger enemies, having that full combo chunk into them is going to be extremely effective. And, you know, it's a relatively simple combo, but, and I guess it's something you could have done before, but you would have just had off-color Ice Shards that still would have been effective for slowing, but they wouldn't have given you nearly as much damage. So now the damage output from this build is going to be quite a bit higher. And actually what we'll be looking for, too, is a Broadsword that spreads inflammable oil on the enemy. And you can take any, basically, slow survival weapon and do this. Broadsword is the most powerful, other than a couple of choices that don't work as well with the Ice Shards for a variety of reasons. But then when we spread the oil on the enemy, we're going to have the Ice Shards getting crits and increasing our damage. And another thing that got changed about the Ice Shards is they had their ammo count taken away, but their critical hit damage was drastically reduced. And this makes them less bursty in Biomes, which maybe means they're not quite as good for Biomes, but they were so good in Biomes already it doesn't really matter. For boss fights, I'd say they're arguably better because you don't have to worry about running out of ammo. And see, like, I was able to just land that final hit so easily, and already we've got an inflammable oil Broadsword. As you can see, they're not hard to find, and it's going to do 100% bonus damage to a target covered in burning oil too. So if we can get something that puts fire on the enemy in any way, we're going to have plus 100% damage, and our Ice Shards inflicting crits. And because I feel like this build is going to be extremely powerful in Biomes, what we're going to do today is take some routes that I don't normally like to take, just for the sake of showing off some more of the areas of the game. A lot of them there's just really no reason to take, and I'll kind of get into that as we're going along. So the route that I'm going to be taking today is Dilapidated Arboretum, Morass of the Banished, then whatever Mama Tick's room is called. That was a little close. Is there someone else down here? There is. Yeah, whatever Mama Tick's room is called. Stilt Village, Forgotten Sepulcher. Then we're going to go on to the giant High Peak Castle. And from there, everything is basically unchangeable, set in stone. Oh, let's go down there. I don't think he's going to be able to touch me. And the elites are not going to give me much trouble today, I don't think. Man, that one has 50% bonus damage at max HP. But let's go ahead and take this just so we don't worry about having to be fully topped off. This has a better damage multiplier as well. Might seem crazy, but I think it should work out. And the Broadsword is just so fun to use when the enemies are just sitting there. And another nice thing is that anytime you drop the Ice Shards in water, that's a guaranteed crit even if you don't have oil. And it roots the enemies in the water. So, you know, the whole Mama Tick fight is going to be taking place in the water. So, Ice Shards are going to be getting guaranteed crits there and giving me roots. Although, I mean, you'd think that's not really effective against a boss that just sits there anyway. But it actually roots Mama Tick's claws too. So a few of the attacks don't come out as far like they normally would. Got a challenge rift already. That is solid. And it's really going to come in handy on this run too, because I'll be getting slightly fewer scrolls than I normally would because of the route that I'll be taking. I'll come back to it. There's one more scroll in here somewhere, so we'll take that first. And that final hit on the Broadsword. The last two hits are guaranteed crits. So if you have something like Instinct of the Master of Arms, you can get pretty good cooldown reduction with that. What kind of skills do we want to play with this? I'm actually not sure, so we'll just go miscellaneous for now. Definitely not Vampirism. You know, I'm not going to spend any money yet. I'm pretty poor. There's a Starred Giant's Whistle. I'm going to spend money immediately. And it poisons the enemy. That's quite good. Alright, there's the last scroll. Go ahead and put that in survival. And we'll come back to the challenge rift. And then we'll go on to the Arboretum. Which, like I was saying, there are some biomes that I basically never go to. And the Arboretum is one of those. There's really, once you've gotten all the blueprints in there, there's absolutely no reason to go unless you're really good at it or something. Because it actually gives, I personally find it to be much, much harder than Promenade. And also harder than Toxic Sewers. And it gives you fewer scroll fragments than Toxic Sewers. Which one gives me more HP? Okay. And this one gives me an extra jump too. Solid, solid. So that's why I don't like to go Arboretum. Let's see here. And the other reason that there's really no point in going Arboretum is that it doesn't open up any additional routes from the other biomes either. So both the other biomes are easier, give the same amount of scroll fragments or more, and you can go to all the same biomes from those biomes as you can from the Arboretum. So Arboretum's kind of cool and all, and it's like nice to see all the different areas of the game, but I think it kind of needs to be nerfed or changed in some way. And you know, I'm saying all this, but I actually haven't been to Arboretum yet in 1.9, so maybe it already has been nerfed. It seems like the early biomes are just super hard, so I'll believe that when I see it. But who knows? Off to a better start with the challenge rifts today. It's a relief. Alright, would I rather fight 10 Mushroom Boy-sized Mama Ticks or 1 Mama Tick-sized Mushroom Boy? Oh man, I think I'd probably rather fight the 10 little Mama Ticks. That's another, like, Arboretum, those little mushroom guys in there are one of the hugest thorns in my side. And if one of them was huge and, you know, he's just blocking all my attacks and then suddenly just goes flying into me like they're prone to do, I can only imagine it wouldn't go well, so I'm gonna take the tiny Mama Ticks in this one. And the entrance to the Arboretum always looks like this. It's like a weird fly trap jumping puzzle. It's not really difficult to get through, but the first time you see it, it's kind of like, what is going on here? I think I might have died the first time I tried to get up there. But basically, oh, that's a nice rampart. I'm gonna take this death orb, actually. Basically, Broadsword has really high DPS, so it's great for boss fights. But typically not as good for Biomes, but because of the slow from the Ice Shards, we're going to be really strong in Biomes, too. And like I was saying, and I'll talk about this mutation for a second here, too, because this is a really important reason for why Ice Shards are so good. Heart of Ice, so we're only at 5 survival, and we take this. Anytime I melee a slowed enemy, I'm going to get 1.4 seconds of cooldown reduction. And the further we go along, that's going to get closer to like 3 seconds per hit. So stuff like Giant's Whistle is just going to be coming up all the time. It's extremely good with Ice Shards, and one of the reasons it's so good with survival. As you can, or I guess it's covered up, but I actually just got an achievement for coming to Arboretum for the first time. It's those little mushroom guys, such a thorn in my side. And tried to jump up there, and there wasn't actually anywhere to go. This Impaler just giving me all kinds of trouble, too. And those big mushroom guys are actually called yeeters. I guess because they yeet the little mushrooms at me. And I didn't even see him down there. I told you, those little mushroom boys. I guess he was covered up by my biters. Already, I'm having an extremely difficult time in this biome. But like I said, I don't come here often. I think these little mushroom guys should seem a little less spastic with the Ice Shards, because normally my problem is that they just start kind of charging me out of nowhere, especially while they're blocking. And it's like, you know, maybe I'm just not good at fighting them. But they seem really difficult to deal with. Go ahead and wait for this guy to come to me. Ooh! I guess he makes a little explosion when he lands or something. And a lot of these spots I'm getting hit here are just my own inexperience kind of showing. Another thing I'll give Ice Shards credit for, especially with the Broadsword, is it... Okay. Hello there. But the Broadsword really does a good amount of work on elites. Let's go ahead and take a little bit more HP. I think my damage is fine. But like I was saying, Broadsword, that first hit of the Broadsword doesn't really have any kind of a vertical arc on it. So it can struggle against bats a little bit. But what happened to that mushroom boy? That was strange. Because the Ice Shards are so fast and they have that nice vertical arc, it really alleviates the problem. And another interesting thing, another elite eater. Where are they all coming from? Another thing I'm going to be trying today. No, thank you. Is skipping the optional prison biomes entirely and going to High Peak Castle instead. I actually realized that, you know, if I'm going to be skipping a biome for the sake of time, High Peak Castle gives quite a few more scrolls than those biomes. Of course, I won't have those scrolls for as long throughout the game, but still think it's going to be worth it. The easy game survival has enough HP, or easy game, The early game, survival has enough HP to deal with relatively well, and it'll definitely help in the late game. And it's one fewer curse, and honestly, I think High Peak Castle is an easier biome in general than those prison biomes. So, we'll see how it goes. It might be something that I continue doing. It might not. Probably I'll try to keep it fresh by changing up my routes in a lot of my runs. But I definitely felt like I couldn't just go Promenade, Ancient Sewers, Conjunctivious again. And especially with a really slow weapon like this, it would be hard to hit Conjunctivious. You gonna come down here? It's so slow. I don't know about 5BC being all easy game. I mean, maybe with the route that I'm used to, but as you can see, I came into Arboretum and just started struggling right away. Things have gotten a little better since then. I'm at 50, picked up a few scrolls, but I've still got my work cut out for me so far. Jump right into those spikes there. And getting pelted by mushroom boys. Didn't quite make it to 60. It's alright. I'm relatively happy with my equipment right now. You know, I'll miss out on a little bit of money because of that, but nothing too terrible. And those guys, those Thornies, that's another reason I hate this place, especially if you're playing melee. Why can I not seem to hit you with my broadsword? It's like I'm pushing you back somehow. But we are stabilizing a little better now. Continuing to pick up scrolls. Oh my god. Almost let that guy get me. Just with horrendous jumping. Yet there's a little explosion when those mushroom boys land. And that's absolutely how I got caught the first time. It's when I break their shield. I think that's what's pushing them back. I have to be careful about that. Go miscellaneous skills again. I'm pretty content with this setup, but ooh, ice armor might not be bad. Yeah, why not? Let's show off some different stuff. Even though that guy we had there did poison the enemy, I don't really have anything that has poison synergy anyway, so it wouldn't have been that useful. The ice armor, on the other hand, helped me not get killed by stupid crap. Has kind of a long cooldown, but because of Heart of Ice, we'll be able to deal with that a little better than usual. And greatly beneficial with curses, too. But the route we're taking, we're not going to have to deal with any curses until Sepulcher. And that's actually one of the reasons that I hate Sepulcher, is because it's the latest curse in the entire game. So either you go to Sepulcher and you don't take the curse because it's so late in the game, or you take the curse and, you know, you just deal with it, or you don't take the curse because it's such a late curse and you get fewer scrolls from Sepulcher than you would from the cavern or from Stilt Village. So, yeah, typically just not a fan of Sepulcher. He's just blocking on those biters. Scared to try to go past him. There we go. I feel like those guys just start charging into you, like totally randomly. Plus damage to a slowed down target. But it doesn't give me the inflammable oil. And my current one is a 6, that's 5. Plus damage to a slowed down target though is pretty good when you've got Ice Shards rolling. So I could go to Morass now, and it actually doesn't look like there's anything else I have to get here. There's definitely some stuff that I should have grabbed for the money. And you know what? What neck do I have? Yeah, my current neck. No, I'm actually fine with the neck I have. Until I get into Morass. So that's where we're going to head next. Made it through here relatively okay. Did I get any food? No, I did. Right away. At the very beginning, I got food. But to try to increase my survivability a little bit, I am going to take gastronomy next. Still just one of the absolute best options for survivability now that necromancy got, you know, I wouldn't say nerfed to the ground, because you can still use necromancy with tonic to pretty good effect and have tonic account for not being able to go over 50% HP. And it's still useful for the malaise reduction too, but now gastronomy is my go-to choice for most situations. And, you know, I basically had to dodge 2 attacks from that giant tick. Not bad. We've already got Ice Armor back. Looks like I got tagged by one of those blowgunners. Those guys. Oh, I forgot. Actually, there's a cursed chest that you're supposed to take in here, too. And that can be a little stressful because the blowgunners can just hit you out of nowhere. Worse than arguably anything in the game. Including those bastards, the Inquisitors, who always shoot me off the screen. But their shots are just so fat, they travel so quickly. I used to think this biome was really hard. I've come here a bit more often since I first started playing so that I could fight Mama Tick. Because this is the only biome you can take to get to her. Alright, that's solid. And I don't know if it's just my practice that has made it feel easier or if they actually nerfed anything. But I don't think it's so bad anymore. It's not like totally disproportionately difficult like Arboretum is, and at least there's a reason to come here instead of Arboretum, so you can fight Mama Tick if that's what you want to do. Get a different amount of scroll fragments, which depending on the route that you're taking can, or you know, sometimes may not be worth it. I guess I'll go ahead and take this. I have ice armor, so I'm not feeling terrible about it. Colorless Corrupted Power. See, that could be a really nice combo with ice armor. Because I can get the DPS buff. Also burns the ground and creates a toxic cloud. And I can use that DPS buff while I have ice armor active. So that even if I do get hit, I don't have to worry about taking the extra 30% damage, which is what this skill does. So that sounds good. Let's go with that. It's not a skill that I take that often, and I know it's good, but for some reason, I just don't find myself going with it very much. Not really sure why. Just really got to be on the lookout for blowgunners while you're cursed in here. And there's one already. Down to 3. I know I saw a blowgunner over there somewhere. I hate to be overly safe and slow, but just this one time. Oh, I see the blowgunner. Alright, that worked out. Didn't even end up taking the hit anyway. That guy just teleported right into that broadsword swing. I don't even know what it was, because he just evaporated immediately. Another thing is that this biome just has a ton of enemies in it. So, like, I'm at 74 already, 77, and, I mean, I'm sure there's a ton more. So there's plenty of chances to get a kill streak in here. Ooh! Ouch. There's just no animation on that back kick until it has come out entirely. Rallied a lot of it back, though. And I think Corrupted Power may have been active when I took the hit, which made it hurt a lot. But yeah, with the removal of scrolls from items, Ice Armor is really solid, regardless of what scroll type you're taking. I'd say probably not quite as good as Tonic most of the time, although they both give you damage reduction and operate in somewhat similar ways. But, you know, Ice Armor prevents damage entirely, whereas Tonic has just a variety of effects. And typically, like I was saying, you know, I think Tonic is a little more effective. But there are situations where I'd rather have an Ice Armor, especially when I'm cursed. Guy just slid right into that. So I'm pretty happy with this broadsword, but maybe we can get a better Ice Shards. Ice Shards 9 now. And for some reason it seems like Ice Shards doesn't like to get more than 3 affixes. I guess maybe if you get a starred affix, then you're allowed to have one more. But see, like this one only has 2 affixes. I really don't know how that's decided. I guess if they have critical hits plus 20, then they don't like to have another affix. You know, I'm fine with these ones. So there wasn't even anything past that giant tick, except for a shop that I didn't even buy anything from. Sometimes it's just kind of weird how this biome is laid out. Not bad, not bad. Should be an HP. It's actually not an HP increase. Those damn tactics scrolls are just not worth anything. That's alright. I'll take it anyway. It is at least a DPS increase. It'll pay off in the long run. little guys everywhere in this biome. Stay away from that. Don't need money that bad. But something that I'd say is arguably the best part about Ice Shards is that not only is that slow, 5 seconds long, it's just extremely good, it also pierces everything. And it has decent, like as you can see, that's a decent amount of range. So you come up to a large group of enemies and you just slow everything and then pick away at them at your own pace. So obviously we'll go red here, since I already have way more tactics scrolls than I want. This looks nice. It's a pretty large reduction in HP, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm not too worried about that. So still missing a fragment over there. And one good thing about this biome too, another reason it's not just totally useless like dilapidated Arboretum, is that there's always a food shop here. So I don't know if this is going to be it or not. Hopefully it will be, and I'm not just wasting my time coming over here. Oh god. And see, I was still able to get all 3 of my Broadsword hits in before he was able to slash once. And Broadsword is not fast. So this is the food shop. I don't need too much. I think maybe I'll just take this. Fill up the health before we go to Mamatic. Get 1 malaise reduction. Still have 1 malaise, but that's not much. It's definitely something I can deal with. Alright, let's head to the boss. I think going to High Peak Castle and skipping the prison biomes too kind of improves the overall flow as well. Because, you know, if I go to the prison biomes, that's 4 straight biomes before I fight a single boss. Now it's only 3, and then there's also going to be one separating the Giant and Hand of the King. Nothing too useful looking here. Like I was saying, though, it does just kind of negatively affect my early game scroll count, but I think we'll be fine. I could take Dead Inside for this. Heart of Ice is actually going to be good here, because like I said, even though she's not freezable or slowable, I don't think, but she is rootable. And Heart of Ice does give you cooldown reduction on rooted enemies too. That Inside just doesn't make any sense with the rest of my kit. How about Instinct? So we'll just be getting crazy amounts of cooldown reduction. Whoops, didn't mean to pop that. Well, I'm gonna wait until that damage debuff wears off, or it should wear off during the cutscene. I'm not worried about getting hit in the early part of this fight anyway. And it does appear to slow her, too. It absolutely is. And here comes the hardest part of the fight. Ice armor is pretty nice here. Oh my god! Hit me all the way in the far corner. And I wonder if I'm actually kind of messing myself up with the slowing enemies down. I definitely am. Alright, that was a little close. So I came here because I thought, oh my god, I thought the root would be useful. Ended up just getting myself hurt badly. So see, she's not going to be able to approach with this because she's rooted. So I'm definitely glad I didn't see Mighty Mouse's comment about betting a shot that I would flawless this boss, because that would not have gone well for me. So note to self, not a good boss to have a slowdown on. Or maybe if you're a little more comfortable with it than I am, it could be fine. But I clearly did not utilize it very well. And this is a boss that hits hard, so getting tagged by anything does a lot of damage. But actually, so now we're going to Stilt Village, and one of the nice things about this is that it also has a food shop. So I have to just save my money now. I'm a little short, but I should be able to get there in this biome to afford it. Treasure chest room. Let's see what we can find. I actually do kind of need the money, so. Punishment. It's one of my favorite shields, but not today. I will do a shielded run eventually, I promise. And that's actually the reason I stopped short to saying that this is the best survival build that I can think of. And, you know, also I'm kind of playing like crap with it, so that's something that I could consider. It's something that I kind of speculated would be very strong, and maybe isn't. Oh god, where did that come from? Oh, I got a flask again. Is he not gonna come up here? It's one of these shield elites. There we go, just get that shield out of the way and then it's not such a big deal. My damage is feeling a little low, but man, even my survivability doesn't feel that good. I guess this is the price you pay for not going to one of those prison biomes early on. Take that though. And then put this back in survival. I don't know if I'm really feeling corrupted power so far. On cue. Let's get something else. Powerful grenade is most of the time my favorite grenade in the game. One thing I really like about it is how creative the name Powerful Grenade is. I know I've mentioned that before. pretty much just melts anything in a very large radius. Here's that food shop. Well, we know we need this. Put me back at 3. Well, I'll have to ask Gwen that. You talking about those pirate guys? I'll show you when I get to one. I have to go grab that key. See that pirate guy down there? Holding that cannon? Oh, no problem. No pressure, you just have to come up with an incredible name on the spot. Obviously, the other guy down there is Joey Big Hands. Seems like he and Pirate Captain Man are good friends. Oh god, he's angry. I don't know why he got angry, but he did. Anyway, he's dead, so... unfortunately, you can't look at him any longer. I mean, I'm sure there'll be another one, but... One-leg Tony Romo. Because he's a cowboy, I get it. Peg leg Tony? Man, that goes really well with Joey Big Hands, actually. I like that they just have, like, normal, like, person names. Go ahead. My cooldowns just come back so fast. It's really great. Oh god. Stop it, Tony Romo. And I actually don't hate this biome. It's just I don't usually come here because it gives fewer scroll fragments than the other biomes in this same tree. It does give you more scrolls without having to take a cursed chest, which is kind of nice, and it does have a food shop, which is also kind of nice. And I don't find it to be any harder than the other two, but then if I want to go giant, I can't go to the caverns from here. I have to go to Sepulcher to get to him. So usually I would only take this if I'm going to go fight the Timekeeper. Which I could actually do, I guess. But the point of this run was to go to biomes that I don't normally go. It's probably a little bit apparent that I'm out of my comfort zone. Did get the 60 streak. Oh, there's a scroll right down there. What do we got at this shop here? And I'm still just using a Ice Shards 6 and a Broadsword 6. And we don't have anything that spreads fire yet. What am I thinking? I can't afford anything here. There's that legendary electric whip. Can you imagine? Electric whip is super good, by the way. know I haven't shown it in any of my runs yet, but I am a huge fan. Although it doesn't actually count as a melee weapon, so it wouldn't work with Heart of Ice anyway. Kind of strange that it wasn't made a melee weapon. And we've got an evil Tony Romo to deal with. What happened to your leg, Tony Romo? You used to be so well. Dang, my HP is just... I'm gonna stick with this. My HP is so low. Without dead inside, survival just feels weird. You see those samurai crabs? Yeah. Do you know, what are those guys called? 100% damage inflicted, 100% damage taken. That is a risky weapon. Those can be pretty good though. So I guess it looks like I've pretty much cleaned this place out. I might top off my HP before I leave. Yeah, I don't even know if that's worth it. I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of here. Go ahead and get right to my favoriteest biome, Forgotten Sepulcher. Way too hard for what it gives you? Wow, I almost made the time door. I almost forgot that that's even possible, because I always take those prison doors, which adds an extra biome early on. But yeah, way too hard for its own good. It doesn't give you enough rewards. It does let you fight either boss, which I guess is kind of nice. I don't know. So if you haven't been in Sepulcher before, basically this darkness that's all over the place hurts you if you stand in it for too long. This is kind of weird, trying to fight these guys while I've got like all these shop menu icons in the way. Or menu pages. I'm not gonna take any of these anyways. I don't know what I'm doing. My brain is just trying to juggle too many things. Can't do it. How about those fat mummies, Gwen? You see how fat that mummy is?
Oh my god, Omega Chunk.
Omega Chunk. This is no Mega Chunk. This is an Omega Chunk. You know he's fat. And yeah, those mummies were just recently added, and I almost never come here, so I really don't know how to fight them very well. What could go wrong? I would say probably nothing. I know that they are really big fans of belly flopping on you. Here he comes. Try to belly flop on me now. That final swing, so much damage. There's the samurai crabs in here too. Ninja crabs. Gonna get him with their Judy chops. the cursed chest is going to be behind the 3-cell door, so I'm going to have to go through that one. I guess I don't have to. But I'm going to. I was hoping that Inquisitor would be too slow to actually land that hit on me. Not the case. And here's the 3-cell door. Scout ahead just a little bit before we go to that, because we got spike traps. Not something I particularly enjoy dealing with while cursed. There's a lore room over here, so this will be... A lore room is always going to have one of those lights that will help you out. There's just no enemies over by that cursed chest at all. Where are they? Hiding from me. There they are! Found them. There's always a ton of enemies in here too. I think? Unless they changed that. Inquisitor's just firing away at my biters over here. Everybody's favorite thing, having biters on your weapon. That's a pretty nice shield, actually. And we're definitely gonna take the damage while we're cursed. We should be able to one-shot just about anything with a powerful grenade. Oh, hello there. That's an uncomfortable situation to be on while I look at this menu. But I figured it wouldn't be a problem. Back over to the mummy. I think he might still be... sorry, Omega Chonker. There he is. What was the rest of his name, Gwen?
I think it's just Omega Chonk Mummy.
Omega Chonk Mummy. That's the one. Alright. Luckily I just got all those little bats to deal with. Makes getting rid of a curse easy. 15% damage reduction compared to 10. I really need to take one of these. It costs me a good bit of HP. I can live with that, actually. Just swinging around wildly. I know they're going to teleport to me eventually. So I'm actually going to take an off-color scroll here. Get that HP back. Holy crap! Wow! Those guys jump really far. They're pretty spry for how chunky they are. Interesting. Oh. Always when the shield leaks. Thank God for the ice armor there. I can take this back. I like that distribution. So this is going to be the cavern. No, not the cavern. The Giant's Haven. And I think I'll try fighting the Giant, probably. But let's go check out this shop. Maybe we can get something just a little better. Because I think I'm still using 2 level 6 weapons. I don't know how far that mummy might jump, so... That actually probably was a mistake. I should not have picked up that food. I could have gone and taken the other one for full health and then come back to this one and recycled it for the damage buff. That's alright. We'll be alright. Crits plus 30, inflammable oil. Let's go with melee again. But we still really want something with inflammable oil. That's pretty good. There we go. So this one has... Oh no, that's burning oil. Well, now suddenly I can't find one. Maybe it's not as common as I thought it was. That's such a good broadsword, though. It would cost me a lot of crits. Let's take it. It's just such a big damage difference. Look at that, 40% damage. There's another shop. For some reason I didn't see this one. A better ice armor, which doesn't really matter much, but as you can see, this one that I have now only gives 8% damage reduction. And this one gives 10, so that's what ice armor gives you at the higher levels. So let's go ahead and do that. My poor bank account. Grab a baguette, and then we'll go on to the Giant. And you know, Broadsword has been pretty good with this. I actually was kind of planning on taking Flawless originally and changed my mind at the last second. And I'm not sure if that was the right decision or not. Flawless definitely has a better combo and is still just as powerful, but it's just risky in boss fights if you get hit. So we're dead inside. Instinct. I will still get crits here. And how about... I don't know how much I'm really going to get hit. What else do I want to take? Masochist might be good. I don't think I can actually slow him down at all. I don't have a shield. I don't have a deployed skill. Do I have anything with... My Ice Shards do bonus damage to bleeding. I guess I could take open wounds for that. And not just be completely wasting a slot. So that's what I'll do. Sad Scully. Let's go. Luckily that Broadsword swing has a really nice arc on it. Whew. Sad Scully is giving me a hard time today. Everything is giving me a hard time today in this run. I'm definitely not setting any speed records here. Alright. Well, it wasn't totally terrible. I did take a pretty decent amount of melees. It doesn't really look like I did because I have dead inside right now. But I did. And once I revert from having it, it's going to be a lot more obvious. So let's catch up on that scroll count a little bit more in this biome. So, I mean, we're doing alright. This build actually isn't as powerful as I kind of thought it was going to be. But we're doing alright. Should have just stuck to the plan. Should have kept Flawless. should have gone necromancy there instead of open wounds. That's what I should have done for the malaise reduction. So my powerful grenade does still spread inflammable oil. These things are all extremely similar. Poison targets, rooted targets. Maybe if I could... I like these ones. I still don't think this biome will be very hard. And it just kind of feels like sometimes I'm hitting with the Ice Shard and then the follow-up attack from the Broadsword isn't quite landing like I like. Like, for some reason the range just isn't quite as good as I expected. And there's some kind of weird thing that's like preventing the follow-up attack from working every time. Like, I need to tap the button more times than I feel like I should. And it hasn't been terrible. It's not quite as good as I hoped it was going to be. Especially when I come in here touting Ice Shards as the best weapon in the whole game. But I don't know if I think it's Ice Shards' fault. Yeah, the explosion from the ice armor actually pushed him away from me. And then I whiffed. Which, maybe I just shouldn't be using ice armor. But I need to stop spending so much money, honestly. Cleric Shock is always pretty nice. Because if I do, I'm not going to be able to change my mutations again for Hand of the King, and then change them back for the next biome, and then change them back for the Collector. Did help me right there. But I guess with this setup, I just feel a little less in control than I would like. We'll take that before the hand. I don't think I'll need it in here. Alright, we'll go in here now. Gotta love landing hits with that giant overhead swing, though. I say as that enemy presented absolutely zero challenge whatsoever. We're just a little worried about him turning around. If you don't know, if you hit those guys in the... Oh, God. Hit those guys in the back with a melee attack, then you take damage and they do not. Same weapon as me. I say as though I'm just encountering that guy for the first time in this biome, like I haven't already seen a million of them. Well, that guy's the hardest single enemy in here, so for him to go so easily is always a good thing. Getting my survival scroll count up there pretty high. 29 is not bad, considering I'm not even to the hand yet. My off-color scrolls are a little low, and that's why my HP is kind of lower than normal for survival. But not excessively so. But I think on my last run, I could be wrong about this, but I think I might have finished the entire game with 28 main scroll. So I'm already above that. So, I mean, this is no tactics build. I'm not going to be putting out that kind of damage.
Oh my gosh, really?
So I still need to go to the red door. Because those guys were in the water, they just weren't allowed to do anything. Alright, I'll give you just a second. Like I even needed to. That damage from projectiles reduction. The extra jump in midair is actually really useful against the hand. Oh, I see how it is. That guy just doesn't even care to get hurt at all because he's in the air. I guess he jumps and just becomes invincible. Which sounds about right. I mean, that's what happens to me when I jump. looking better and better. And with the damage reduction from the ice armor too. My HP should be alright. No reason not to just run and grab that chest. Nothing useful. Wave of Denial can actually be kind of decent taking off color just because it knocks enemies back. But, you know, I'm kind of trying to get into melee range, so not really ideal for this build. Alright, we'll grab that, get the damage buff. Starred Ice Shards. It's basically the same as the ones that I have. I think I'm actually gonna go HP again. Ooh, no, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's not that I'm not worried about my damage output, it's just that survival weapons typically do all their damage in huge single hits, and bosses actually have damage caps where they're not allowed to take more than a certain amount of damage in a single hit. So if I exceed that, then I'm just wasting the damage anyway. We'll go with, I think Vengeance will be good here, as well as Dead Inside. And let's finish it off with Necromancy for the malaise reduction. He doesn't seem too happy to see me. Maybe it's because I'm wearing his outfit. Vengeance paying off a little bit right there. There we go. Did you see that worm just jump right off there and kill himself? What was he doing? That was bizarre. Oh my god. I didn't mean to do that last swing. Huh. Well, damage-wise, it went alright. Took a lot of malaise. That's why I took Necromancy, so that'll bring that back down at least a little bit. I'm still going to be at 6, which is slightly painful for a non-dead inside build. But I have a lot more HP in general than I did on my last run when I was playing Tactics. Not surprisingly. I think we'll just go back to what we were doing before. So we will take Heart of Ice. Gastronomy. Do I want instinct? Maybe necromancy could still be good. I am gonna stick with necromancy just in case I get hit early on, because I'm only at 50% HP. I won't get immediate benefit from it, but if I get hit even a single time, then I'll start getting benefit. Defender just falling down there. That was weird. How did you get away with that? Ice armor blowing up at just the perfect time right there. Setting me up to take him out with a powerful grenade. That was strange. Getting myself into maybe a little bit of trouble here. These guys are quick. This is where necromancy will start paying off a little bit. That grenade just totally whiffed, and yeah, somehow didn't completely fail its job. And there's the other elite too. It's nice of them to just give them both to me back to back like that so quickly. But how do I get over to him? We'll just do it this way. And the Broadsword does not mess around on elites. Gets the job done real easily. Especially with the slow. Just the upswing and the downswing both do an insane amount of... Oh my god! The birds! They're too fast. Necromancy, definitely. Oh, a food shop. Unbelievable. But I can't really afford anything anyway. This will give me max HP. Tough call. I think I'll wait for just a bit. That might be kind of dangerous. Oh, I should have gone that way. There we go. This will help out a great deal. Need this HP. So I think the problem with taking Ice Shards with Broadsword is that sometimes when you press the button, you only get the Ice Shards throw instead of getting the Ice Shards throw and the Broadsword swing. Not on the first attack, but in the subsequent attacks. So you want to mash buttons so that you make sure you get both the Ice Shards throw and the Broadsword swing. But that's actually kind of problematic because sometimes it makes you do extra broadsword swings that are extremely slow and just put you in a bad situation. That's nice. It's not actually that big of an HP increase. Maybe I can find another better amulet in here somewhere. So I do think that sticking with a weapon that was just a little bit faster, like Flawless, probably would have done me well. Not that this run has really gone badly, other than the tick fight, which definitely might have, oh god, still gone badly. Because that was actually the slow that messed me up in that fight and not the swing timing. Here we go. Gonna head back to that food shop now. I'm not super thrilled about all this. Man, I really need to find a way to make some money. But I need this at least. Just to make sure I don't take a bunch of hits in a row, accidentally get 2 points of melees, and just drop off the face of the earth. Armor's almost back already. Another thing is that Flawless would have gotten me more hits in quicker succession. There we go. That's quite a bit better. Not a big HP drop. 15% damage increase, which would have gotten me more cooldown reduction. That's nice. Needed that food. Right there, it didn't do the first swing, so then I ended up mashing and swinging twice. And there's these damn birds that always catch me as soon as I jump up there, but I can just pop the ice armor. So even if they do, I should be alright. That time he was a little slow on the draw. I don't know what was going on. Setup's still just working really great for elites. That's probably the best way to use Broadsword as well. I don't know what the way to use it, but that's its biggest strength, is handling elites. How much money do we just barely have enough money to reset our mutations. So, no more food. Gotta go on to the final boss. I've been struggling a lot this run so far, but maybe I can redeem myself with a good collector fight, which I haven't been able to get on stream yet, so. And in fact, just saying that probably already screwed me over. A little bit dead inside. Vengeance. And we'll take the triage just in case I make it to that point where that shield will help me get the perfect, which I highly doubt I will. It looks like the overall time of this run is about the same, even though I did go to High Peak Castle instead of going to one of the prison biomes. So that's good to know. I can keep the run shorter. And still go to High Peak Castle. Alright, time for my medicine. He does it. I didn't think he was going to do it again. This guy does get slowed. Oh, he's really digging that attack right now. Pretty low damage, too. I just wasn't landing a lot of hits. But here we go. We'll make up for it right here. Or not even really. Is that his first flask that he's drank? My damage really is bad, huh? And with this many scrolls too. Giving me a lot of time to hit him there. Who's a good boy? Is it me? I hope so. And you know, this guy has been buffed. But damn. Alright, well, still can't get a good collector fight on stream, but we did get the win. And, you know, just a disappointing weapon setup. Probably the weakest that I've used so far. So maybe Ice Shards are a little more balanced than I thought they were, at least with survival. I definitely want to give them a try with tactics sometimes, because I feel like the CC combined with the damage output is just pretty incredible. So we'll try that later. For now, maybe next time you are going to survival and you want to use Ice Shards, consider a different weapon from the Broadsword. The overall high DPS just didn't really feel good during the boss fights. And it didn't feel that great in the biomes either. I think Flawless would have just been a better choice almost all around. So, anyway, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. It's been fun. And have a great night.